But today, what his lecture is very based for rest of you, heavily philosophy. Sometimes can derive really experience. Put on the shoes, front foot, return to his understanding. Still, it's best to a few of the bowing congregation present. The boys from Mott Street are here, and are specifically looking for good. Many in the group have already read numbers, and they are not too proud to hear and admit that they didn't understand. It's another hot and noisy July, even outside. Children are on summer vacation, and they stay out on the street until dark. Nearby, a big dog is barking. Wow, wow, wow. The traffic creates constant rumbling. Just outside the window, little girls are shrieking. All his all this makes lecturing difficult. It despite the distinction of children, traffic, and dogs. He wants the door open. If it is closed, he says, why is it closed? People may come in. He continues, undaunted, flowing Sanskrit, holding his audience, developing his urgent message, while the relentless cacophony rivals his every word. Roll, roll, roll. Shrieking like little Spanish witches, the girls disturb the whole block. In the distance, a man shouts from his window, get out here, get out of here. Ruban asks, ask them not to make noise. Roy, one of the boys in the temple, man is chasing the kids. Say, yes, yes, these children are making a disturbance. Ask them. Roy says, yes, that's what. Man's chasing them right now. Ruban says, they're making noises. Roy says, yes, he's chasing them now. The man chases the children away, but they'll be back and chase the children. They'll live there. The big dog never stops barking. And who can stop the cars? The cars are always there. Robert uses the cars to give an example. When a car momentarily comes to elevation on 2nd Avenue, we certainly don't think that it had no existence before we saw it, or that it ceases to exist once it has passed from view. Similarly, when Krishna goes from this planet to another, it doesn't mean he no longer exists, although it may appear that way. Actually, he has only left our sight. Krishna in his incarnations constantly appear and disappear on innumerable planets throughout the innumerable universes of the material creation. The cars are always passing, roaring, and rumbling throughout through every word Prabhupada speaks. The door is open and he is poised at the edge of a river of carbon dioxide, asphalt, rumbling tires. He has come a long way from the banks of his Yellow Vrindavan, where great sages have gathered through the ages to discuss concepts. But his audience lives here, amid this scene. So he has come here, beside Second Avenue's rushing river of traffic, to speak loudly the ageless message. End of here. Prabhupada ki Agatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, verse 13. You can also do it. Sa ekada himavato dakshineshvatha sanushu tadarshanavavivavivati puram lakshita lakshanam. Sa ekada himavato dakshineshvatha sanushu tadarshanavarvi puram lakshita lakshanam. Sa ekada himavato dakshineshvatha sanushu darshanavavarvi puram lakshita lakshanam. Sa ekada himavato dakshineshvatha sanushu tadarshanavarvi puram lakshita lakshanam. Sa ekada himavato dakshineshvatha sanushu darshanavavarvi puram lakshita lakshanam. Sa ekada himavato dakshineshvatha sanushu tadarshanavarvi puram lakshita lakshanam. Translation. What word? Sir, that King Puranjan, Ekada, once upon a time, Himavataha, of the Himalayan mountains, Dakshineshu, southern, Atha, after this, Sanushu, on the ridges, Tadarsha, found, Navapihi, with 9, Dwarapihi, gates, Puram, a city, Lakshita, visible, Lakshanam, having all auspicious facility. Translation by the Divine Disciple. Once while wandering in this way, he, King Puranjana, on the southern side of the Himalayas, in a place named Bharatavarsha, India, a city that had 9 gates, all about and was characterized by all auspicious facilities. Once again, once while wandering in this way, he saw on the southern side of the Himalayas, in a place named Bharatvarsha, India, a city that had 9 gates all about and was characterized by all auspicious facilities. Purport by His Divine Bishop. It's a very long purport, but very nice. The tract of land south of the Himalaya mountains is the land of India, which was known as Bharatavarsha. When a living entity takes birth in Bharatavarsha, he is considered to be the most fortunate. Indeed, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has stated, Bharat Bhumite Hola, Manushya Janma Janma Shartha Kori, Koro Koro. Thus, whoever takes birth in the land of Bharatavarsha gains all the facilities of life. He may take advantage of all these facilities for both material and spiritual advancement, and thus make his life successful. After attaining the goal of life, one may distribute his knowledge, experience all over the world for humanitarian purposes. In other words, one who takes birth in the land of Bharatvarsha by virtue of his past pious activities gets full facility to develop the human form of life. In India, the climatic conditions such that one can live very peacefully without being disturbed by material conditions. Indeed, during the time of Maharaj Yudhishthira or Lord Ramachandra, people were free from all anxieties. There was not even extreme cold or extreme heat. The 3 kinds of miserable conditions, adhyatmic, adhibhautic, adhidev, miseries inflicted by the body, mind, and mind itself, those inflicted by other living entities, and natural disturbances were all absent in the reign of Lord Ramachandra. But at present, compared to other countries on earth, India is artificially disturbed. Despite these material disturbances, however, the country's culture is such that one can easily attain the goal of life, namely salvation or liberation from material bondage. Thus, in order to take life, to take birth in India, one must have pious activities. In these words, the word Lakshita Lakshana indicates that the human body attained in Bharatvarsha is very specious. Vedic culture is full of knowledge, and a person born in India can fully take advantage of Vedic culture, cultural knowledge, and cultural system known as Varnashram. Even at the present time, as we travel all over the world, we see in some countries human beings with many material facilities, but no facilities for spiritual advancement. We find everywhere the defects of one-sided facilities and a lack of full facilities. A blind man can hear, but not see, and a lame man can not walk, but can see. Andhapangu Nyaya. The blind man may take the lame man over his shoulder, and as he walks, the lame man may give him directions. Thus combined, they may work, but individually, neither the blind man nor the lame man can walk successfully. Similarly, This human form of life is meant for the advancement of spiritual life, for keeping the material necessities in order. Especially in the Western countries, there are ample facilities for material comforts, but no one has any idea of spiritual advancement. Many are hankering after spiritual advancement, but many cheaters come, take advantage of the money, bluff them, and go away. Fortunately, the Krishna conscious movement is there to give facilities, all facilities, for both material and spiritual advancement. In this way, people in Western countries take advantage of this movement. In India, any man in the villages, unaffected by the industrial cities of India, can still, in any condition, make spiritual advancement. The body has been called the city of nine gates, and these nine gates include two eyes, two ears, two nostrils, one mouth, a genital, and a rectum. When the nine gates are clean and working properly, it is to be understood that the body is healthy. In India, these nine gates are kept clean by the villagers who rise early in the morning, bathe in the in Mangalarati, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and take shower. In this way, one can take advantage of all the facilities of human life. We are gradually introducing the system in different centers in our society in the Western. One who takes advantage of it becomes more and more enlightened in spiritual life. At the present moment, India may be compared to the lame man in Western countries to the blind man. For the past 2,000 years, India has been subjugated by the rule of foreigners, and the legs of progress have been broken. In the Western countries, the eyes of the people have become blind due to the dazzling glitter of material opulence. Blind men of the Western countries, the lame men of India should combine together in this Krishna conscious movement. Then the lame men of India can walk with the help of Western. The blind Westerner can see with the help of the lame man. In short, the material advancement of Western countries, spiritual essence of India, should combine for the elevation of all societies. Beautiful, perfect. Om Agyanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaः. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitya Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachari Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshi Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swami Vandeham Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijan Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishakanu Sute Devi Pranamam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिंधु एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Prabhupada explains that the land south of the Himalayan mountains is the land known as India, which is actually Bharatvarsha. In the um, Puranas, actually, it also mentions that the tract of land from the Himalayas to the uh, ocean, which is the Indian Ocean, is called Bharatvarsha. In the Vishnu Purana, it says, Uttaram yasya samudrasya himadraishaiva dakshyam varsham tad bharatam nama bharati yatra santa. The land that lies north of the ocean and south of the snowy mountains, the Himalayas, is called Bharat. Is called Bharatavarsha, where dwells the descendants of. There's one other quote I came across from the Brihaspati Sutra from the Vedas. It says, Himalayam Samarabhya Yavat Indu Sarovaram Taddev Nirmitat Taddev Nirmitam Desham Hindusthanam Prayakshate. Starting from Himalayas and extending up to the Indian Ocean, is a nation known by gods. So India is known by Bharatvarsha today. Previously it was called Ilagad. And in fact, uh, in the Puranas, we talk about different versions. So, for example, the earth is divided into 7 regions by 7 oceans, and the central region is called Jambudvip. It's divided into 9 versions or parts by 8 huge mountains. In Jambudvip, there are 9 divisions of land, each with a length of 9,000 yojas and facility 2,000 miles. So they are the 9 people. The Varshas are called Bharat Varsha, Kim Purusha Varsha, Hari Varsha, Bhadra Varsha, Larat Varsha, Ketumal Varsha, Ramyak Varsha, Hiranyamaya Varsha, and Kuru Varsha. So, Kim Purusha Varsha is where Hanuman resides. We know that. With regards to this very nice story about Hari Varsha that we are celebrating the consecration of the Ram. It's a very nice story in relation to Ram. Ramayana. Long time back, Ravan, he went to Harivarsha and he stole some items and he brought back to Lanka, to Lanka. So after he bought the stolen items, there's lots of havoc going on, started happening. Sort of lots of fire, coming up, all of a sudden just burning things down and all. So he was trying to figure out what was the cause. So he went to his guru, Shukracharya. And Shukracharya, the guru, he meditated and said that what you brought from Harivansha in the Lord, there is one Ugra Nrsimha deity which you brought with you. And because that deity was with Harivansha with all the different items, now the worship has stopped. The deity is now creating havoc. It's burning everything down. So he said, what should I do? He said, shall I just return, take the deity back and put it back where it was? Harivansha? He said, no, you should don't do that. Rather, what you should do is find someone who can worship that deity. You need to give that deity someone to serve. So he said, who should I give? Shukracharya said, you know what, your brother, Vibhishan is a bit very sattvic person. Maybe he's the best fit for that. Should give it to him. So he said, make a temple for the deity and give Vibhishan a service. Now, because the for the worship of Nrsimhadev requires a lot of tulsis. At that time, tulsi was not there in Lanka. So Ravan had to make arrangement with tulsis as well. That's why in Vibhishan's courtyard there's a lot of tulsis when Hanuman went. So Vibhishan, a lot of tulsis, so we're surprised. But that tulsi was actually used, and from then on, Vibhishan had been serving that deity. Which is why there's another. So in relation to the story, Lord Ram, when he was going to Lanka to kill Ravana, he actually went to Ahobilam, and prayed to Nrsimhadev to beg to ask for his permission to enter Lanka because he decided it. So basically, it's just a way of asking for permission. And also, when Hanuman went to Lanka, before he burned down the city, he prayed to Nrsimhadev. So there's a nice story in relation to that. And in relation to that, so when Vibhishan started serving Nrsimhadev, his house got also changed Ram. And at that time, when some of the demons, they heard Vibhishan chanting the name of Ram, he said, if they complained to Ram, and he said, your brother is chanting the name of Ram, you're enemy. Then Vibhishan was unhappy about it and he called for Vibhishan. And Vibhishan said, Vibhishan, you're chanting my enemy's name, Ram. He said, no, brother, I'm chanting your name and your wife's name. From Ravan, the Ra came from Ram, the Ra came from Ravan, and the Ma came from Mandodari, the Rama. And so he tricked in this way Ravana, but actually he was changing the name of Ram. Sometimes devotees are intelligent, so they're in a precarious situation. They have to use some intelligence to, create some story out of it. So there's a nice story about different versions here. So yeah, Hanuman resides in Kim Purusha. So Bharatvarsha today is actually now called India. And it's a very nice land. This is a land where the Lord personally appears from time to time. It's a very spiritual country. And it's a land of sages, land of devotees. And this is where we have these beautiful and glorious, many self-manifested deities, Krishna, Ram, Narayan, all these pilgrimage places, which is basically like the heart of the entire universe. So here, Chaitanya Prabhu said, Bharata Bhumite Hoila, Janma Sarthak Kuri, Karo, Karo means those who are born in India are very fortunate. They should make the life perfect and then help others with life. Um, being born in India is actually a boon in a way. Anyone born in India? You're born in India, whereabouts? Rajasthan. Um, so this is when the culture there wasn't modernization in those days. India life was very simple. India had been under Mughal rule for over 500-600 years, or over 1,000 years maybe. And then the British rule the 3,000, 300 years. Despite being under the rule of Islamic rule and then British rule, culture has been maintained. People, even today, they they remember different songs glorifying the Lord. Even though under the Islamic rule, there was so much pressure for people to get converted. Despite that, people didn't convert. They were happy to pay tax. So that you had to pay tax if you not get converted. So these huge amount of and people prefer to take tax than pay tax rather than they there's so much faith. Go to Vrindavan, places like Vrindavan, Ayodhya, so much love for the Quran, and they could not give up. Right? British tried so many things to stop the Gurus because the only way to destroy culture was to stop the Guru. Once the Guru was stopped, the people will stand, not following the Sanatana Dharma. This is how the last 70 or more than 70 years, previous governments have actually destroyed the culture in a way. They stopped teaching of Bhagavad Gita and the other religious books in schools. Only now, they start to use similar texts in school. In fact, they also modified the history of India to glorify the invaders more than the actual kings and the sages of India. I read an article about yesterday. I found that in Saudi Arabia, they've actually introduced teaching of, or actually introduced into schools, curriculum, stories of Ramayana. The people understand that from these texts, Ramayana, you learn how to live a life, how to make your life successful. And this is how people used to live in the old days. Life full of happiness. When there was no modernization, people used to live in the villages, have a simple living. They used to do farming, they used to live in a simple hut, or just whatever they used to get from the produce. They used to all sit down and all the people in the community used to sit down and just read, do katha. Bhagavatam, they used to do Ram leaders and stuff like that. Those things have all gone. Things have disappeared. And that's all because we all wanted to become more like the Westerners, when actually the Westerners now wanted to become more like the Easterners, following the Vedic culture. And one dressed the way Indians, all of that is there. But most important is we have the Sanatana Dharma culture is rich. This is what from time to time acharyas teach us how to be successful. We all have material needs, we all have spiritual needs. We have to balance that out. We've got to balance both material and spiritual desires. So we can't just say I'm focusing on only on material. But for life to be successful, we have to balance both material life, desires, needs. So it's important for us to understand that. I mean, today, people born in India, I mean, you can say they are fortunate, but they're not actually following any Vedic culture at all. They're not even, some people are able to have no knowledge of the Vedic scriptures. You know? I've come across so many people who even don't know who is the one particular demigod. Others, and if you ask them what is Lord Shiva, they say, or why you talk about Lord Vishnu. And some people don't know what who Tirupati is, or who Dwarkadish, Badrinath, Vitala. Oh, who is that? They don't know. They have to explain to them. Some people have not even heard about Jagannath. They only came to learn about Jagannath when they come to that. And they've seen this. So just being born in India is not good enough. What needs to happen is parents have to focus on upbringing their child based on these values, spiritual values, which is missing. Parents today are so much focused on material education that they have missed out on spiritual education. They focus is just become a doctor, engineer, and whatnot. Those those big earning jobs. And then all you do after getting a degree of MBA or postgrad, whatever you do, then the next destination is America. You know, and then all you do in America is become a big software giant or whatever, and then make money, and that's it. Live a lavish life, but nothing to do with spiritual. So much focus. I think, unfortunately, I would say, and I'm going to say this very clearly, the Indians are so much focused on teaching the children, getting the children educated. That's a good thing. That's wrong with that. But they completely discount the fact that education means not just material knowledge. Education needs to have spiritual. There's they give so much focus on material knowledge, education, and all they do is by doing that. But because they fear, for them, spiritual knowledge is only for people who get old. You know? That's what it is. It's not for young boys, young people. You'll get it. You'll get that later on in your life. Tomorrow, your priority should be making money, getting a good job, good wife, lavish lifestyle, big cars. You can drive Mercedes, those big cars, so you can show off your friends, and a small like show off type thing today. That's what it is. But when you talk about spiritual knowledge, oh, yeah, we don't, we'll think about it. But if they teach their children right from early age, then the child will know how to live a life, how to make a life. Even reading Bhagavad Gita, people shy. But if I were to compare that with, I would say maybe the Islamic people who look at Islam, I really admire the kids who learn the Quran so nice and they recite Quran. I don't know, it might be forced, but I don't know. But despite that, it's still reciting it. Whereas we don't, we ask them, Indian boys or Hindu boys, recite Bhagavad Gita, nothing. Ramayana, yeah, a little bit maybe, maybe not. So, so our focus should always be to balance our life with beautiful and make the life successful. And by making our life successful, we have to make others, help others with it. That's what it is. No? Why did Prabhupada went to America? Prabhupada went to America for a reason. Because he wanted to give this knowledge, this Vedic knowledge, to others and how to become civilized, how to become Christians. Well, we are grateful. We are very, very grateful to Sri Prabhupada. We don't know. I don't know. Just being born in Indian family, that's not it. Yeah, maybe we had some, we used to perform some bhajans activities, this and that. We put up some knowledge of scriptures, but it's a bit much. So most important is not about, I would say, being a very, very elevated personality like a millionaire or whatever. Most importantly, to be an association of people. Shishali Vidhari Bhagwan Ki, Srimad Subrahmanya Ki, Radha Ki, so our life should be just simple living. I think that's what it should be. And today, unfortunately, in India, this is Kali, as Kali progress. We have so many comments coming up. We have so many imposters who have come in India and cheated people. So many focus sects who teach you the garb of taking, giving a liberation or whatever. But actually, they are entangling further into this material world with all this focus philosophy. No clear cut philosophy, nothing. No. You can, we have seen past a couple of Indian sadhus also went to America as well and just started teaching yoga and all of that stuff. And I'm not gonna make it much time, but you know, you can know who they are. And they've cheated so many people. Even today, there's one particular sadhu, acts like a sadhu, but actually it's total impossible. And he cheats on people, he look at that by what he said. So in India, people have to be very, very careful who you listen to. Just because someone speaks flowery words. Sadhu is one who actually is exemplary. That is an acharya. Acharya Veda Sampanno. Acharya Veda Sampanno Vishnu Bhakta Vivatsaraha. Shat Sampadaya Sampanno Bhagavad Bhakti. Bhagavad Tattva Vidya. One who knows the absolute truth. So we have to be very careful of all these people, but you know, ultimately our life is living life, and we can only make that life. Associating with the devotees, reading Prabhupada's books, chanting the holy names, taking prasadam. That's it. That's a simple process. Prabhupada had not made a very difficult, huge, and associate with the devotees, hear from them, and you become one. Proximity is power. You associate with devotees, become a devotee. You associate with demons, you become a demon. You associate with drunkard, you become a drunkard. In my Western countries, unfortunately, there's so much facilities for people to enjoy. So much. And unfortunately, India has tried to move towards it. Eastern countries have also become important. Enjoy. How to do it? Sense. I went in America to America, but so many facilities with so much freedom, so many facilities with enjoy. This is how people think that this is the best. Those who become from drunkards to devotees, they know what actually is the real thing. What's a best thing? They only know by experience. We are very, very grateful to Sri Prabhupada. Because of them, the temples all over the world, people come, they associate with devotees, and they make a lot of if they can, if they, but elaborate version. Prabhupada mentioned that Bharat Varshal is actually known as elaborate version. That's a very tricky question actually, because in the Jambu Dweep, the nine rivers, one of them is which we call this. But then now that whole tract of land is now limited place. The land of spiritual channel. That's why it's called Bharat. India actually is a name that's by actual name was Bharatvarsha. Was actually the entire planet because it was ruled by then as things changed over time, things down to the India, Pakistan, broader Indian continent was called and the Bharat. So when you do Sankalpa, we talk about Bhutri, Mandale, Jambudri, Bharat. So that Sankalpa is there, that Sankalpa talks about. But after India was subdivided, the piece of land is there. Myanmar, all of that was separated from India. Prabhupada mentions that Bharatvarsha actually was. But we'll find out more about in fifth camp when we read about the flow of the Kumandala. Talks about how the islands like very hard to visualize when you talk about this hardship. Even I'm a bit confused when I look at the image, the diagrams of the sea. But it's interesting. I think Vishnu Puran mentions worship Himalaya. And it is like I said, sutra. So it's a piece of land between Himalaya and Hindu Sarovar, which is Indian Ocean. It's called Hindustan. So then different people have written. We hear that Prabhupada mentions that between where Pakistan is at north, Sindhu Nadi, Sindhu River. Because the Muslims on the other side, Iranians or they put the Greeks, Persians, they could not pronounce her as sir. They used to pronounce her. So they started fooling people on the other side, Hindus, because they could not say Sindhu. That's also a reason, sometimes associated with people with Hindus, because people on the name given by the Iranians. But also is always where Hindu comes from, him from Himalaya, and Hindu from Hindu sort of Indian Ocean. So that's how it's combined. The land between Himalayas and Hindu sort of Hindustan. Because it's called Hindustan, people in generally are called Hindustan, just like but people in Pakistan are called Pakistan. So, also question. All right, we'll end here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki all glories to the Buddhas. All glories to the Buddhas.